Good morning to you. It's Good Friday, the 30th of March, 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. Now, we're having a little bit of a holiday after today, okay? And I won't be back with you till Wednesday for a live show. There might be one or two recorded ones, which you'll be able to find either on my Facebook, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK, or on YouTube, youtube.com/UK, all right? At this very moment in time, the entire house is filled with the smell of hot cross buns. Yes, hot cross buns, hot cross buns. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Have you got any? Oh, yes. Yes. I got some yesterday, last night, actually. I went shopping last night. A little bit more about that later on. I got the hot cross buns last night, and I was just about to go to bed, and I thought, I've got no butter. Because I haven't got any butter in the house, you see. Slimming world. So I got up early this morning. Got a little bit later than I usually get up. About 20 past 8 this morning, I think I woke up. And I put the kettle on and made the tea in the pot. And I put the hot cross buns in the oven, still cold. Okay, because they're not hot until you put them out of the oven. So did that. And then I walked down to the co-op, got myself a little packet of Lurpak butter, and by the time I got back here, of course, they were all ready. And I had four. I mean, they're only small, aren't they? They're only small. I had 4 there's no Slimming World today, dear. No. Not at Easter. We have a little holiday from the Slimming World, we are, this weekend. So I had the 4 hot cross buns while I was watching the news. Of course, no Business Live this morning. I quite like BBC Business Live. That wasn't on this morning. They were doing the sofa talk on BBC Breakfast. I get bored with the sofa talk. You know, people selling books or that. It's just a bit boring, I find. There was no Business Live. Where was Ben doing the Business Live this morning? Very disappointed. Sat there and had that tea, and I've come up to chat to you today. So good morning to you. Good morning, boys and girls. First message of the day goes to the lovely Shania, who's watching on the Isle of Wight. Good morning, Shania. Evan's there. Good morning, Evan, who sent me a lovely picture today of his owls. He's got owls. Oh! And there's 3 of them. Oh, baby owls. How cute are they? They're those ones with the flat faces. I can't remember what they're called. Flat face owls. Are they? Tawny owls? I don't know what they're called. I love owls. And they swoop down and catch mice and things. Like cats, don't they? But without the claws. But they carry them like that. Of course. What were those great big things that we used to have in dinosaur type times? Pterodactyls? Were they like that? They could pick you up. They could swoop down and pick you up with their bleeding great big paws and then drop you into the nest, and you would be eaten by the baby pterodactyls. Is that the correct expression? Pterodactyls? I can't remember now what they are, dear. It's all a mystery to me. Good morning, Joanna, over there on the YouTube. Morning, Joanna. We are ready, Juan. We are ready and on air right now. 1 for the money, 2 to get... What is it? 1 for money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. And go to step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything about off those blue suede shoes. We are ready and on air as we speak. Good morning, Rod Brown. Phoebe's there. Good morning, lovely Phoebe. I haven't seen you for a little while. Terry H. Happy Easter to you, Terry. But it's not Easter yet, lovey. It is Good Friday, darling. It is Good Friday today. The day the Lord died on the cross. There'll be a service at 3 o'clock, mass at 3. Very, very upsetting service that is. Like the one last night I went to. I'll come to that in a minute. Good morning, Mari. Lovely Mari. Hello, Mari. I don't know if you know Mari, but my upload radio show is to... Actually, I have to tell you, I'm not going to have time to record Monday's one now. It was going to be the last one on Monday, but it's not going to happen, I'm afraid, because I've simply run out of time to record the show. I usually do it on a Saturday morning. Well, by tomorrow, I'll be gone. You know, my mate will be moved in here for a few days, and I'll be gone up north to my sister's. So there won't be an upload radio show this week. But the following week, we've moved radio stations, Mari. And I'll be doing it live on Reach on Air. Okay, so more about that as we get to the time. So nothing this Monday. The Monday after, all things being well, I'll be doing my music and chat show exactly as it is now, except live. So that means people can send in little dedications and things like that they might want to read out. I've been wanting to do it live for some time, as you probably know, Mari. Everything else will be the same. The Barry Manilow magic moment, the classical spectacular, and the memorable moment at the end. All right, Mari, good morning to you. Morning, Andy Baker. Paul Mosley's there. Hawan, are you going on vacations? Yes, indeed, as I was just saying there. Up to my sisters, because tomorrow is it Friday? Yeah, so tomorrow night is my nephew's big 21st birthday party, and we're all looking forward to that. Don't worry, I'll take some films, and it's very, very exciting. He's got a Rat Pack, someone's going to come and do Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin numbers. Some bloke coming to sing that. He's got a mobile disco booked. And it's a lovely hotel, the Golf Hotel, if you want to look it up. The Golf Hotel in Woodhall Spa. I've got a couple of bottles of champagne to take up there. And, of course, my bags of food. Because I rent a caravan when I'm up there. I could stay at my sister's house, but my asthma really kicks off big time in my sister's house because she's got dogs and that. So I hire a caravan, which is about 50 quid a night. It's not bad, is it? And caravans are home from home. I like them. I like caravans. I wouldn't buy one of my own, at least not yet. If you're going to live in it for 6 months of the year, then it's worth doing. For 4 weeks of the year, not worth doing. It would end up costing you like £3,000-4,000, in effect, every time that you went on holiday. It's just a complete waste of time. So you might as well hire one. And that's indeed what I do. You can, of course, buy a caravan and hire it out. But then what's the point of buying it in the first place? The idea of to buy a caravan, if you had loads of spare cash, you would buy one and put your own stuff in it. But to buy a decent caravan, even second-hand, to buy a decent second-hand caravan, you'd be looking at about £25,000 if you want the double glazing and the central heating, and you need these things. We're not like we used to be, are we? We're not sort of hardened animals to the cold weather. We do like our creature comforts. And you'd need to spend about 25 grand if you wanted central heating and double glazing. And then, of course, there's the ground rent, which can be anything from sort of £2,500 to £4,000, £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 a year. So you add up those. If you're only going on holiday, what am I spending in caravans in a year? Probably not £1,000. Now, how long would it take to get all that other money back? It's just not worth it. So, no, but that's what I do. I'll hire a caravan out there, okay? They were barn owls. Thank you very much, Evan. Barn owls. Barn owls. Woo, woo. We have owls round here. We hear them sometimes. I love the sound. I have the window open at night. I do. I have the window open at night. Woo! I had it open last night. Oh, I had terrible trouble sleeping last night. Terrible trouble sleeping last night for some reason. Woo! But probably because there were no owls sending me to sleep with their beautiful noises. Woo! Woo, woo. Good morning to Ray Reynolds. Happy Easter to you. Good morning, Ben. Hello, Ben, over there on the YouTube. Let me just go there. Andy says, I nearly had a fight with an oversized woman in Asda yesterday. Oh, there's a load of them in there, dear. There's the cakes counter by any chance? Huh? What you should do is get some Slimming World cards and just get, here, my darling, and walk off. And I'm a Slimming World card and walk off. I'm sure Linda, who is queen of all of Slimming World, she must have some cards or that she gives out to people. I mean, how do you do that? If you were a Slimming World consultant and you saw someone a bit oversized, would you, excuse me, hello, I'm Linda, I work for Slimming World. Perhaps you'd like to come and give them a card. Would that be considered rude, do you think? I'd like to have my camera ready when they do it. Anyway, Andy nearly had a fight with this oversized woman in Asda yesterday. I have this particular egg. There was one left on the shelf. I nearly picked it up and this fat woman said, excuse me, it's mine. That I only left it there while I was asking to see if the store had any more. Well, I didn't know what to say. I just left feeling a little angry. I didn't know what to do, to be honest. Oh, it's only an egg, for Christ's sake. Get another one. Wasn't one of those Waitrose avocado... No, it was in Asda. Waitrose have got these avocado Easter eggs this year, and they've been flying off the shelves. You can't get one for love of money. Avocado Waitrose Easter eggs. I bet they're available on eBay at the moment. Probably will be, wouldn't it, eh? Alan wants me to sing somewhere Elvis. This is not a singing show, dear. not a singing show. Good morning, Wayne Newman. Morning to you, sir. Nice to see you, Wayne, there. Mari's going to reach for me there. Yeah, have a look around if you want to. Reachonair.com, I think it is. And that's where the station is that I'm going to be doing the show live on. I don't know if you heard it, Mari, but I did do a little test show on Tuesday night, and that went quite well. Technically, probably the content was as bad as it's always been, but technically it went very well, thank you. All right. Good morning to Kathy. Kathy, good morning, Kathy, to you. Kathy Conquest of Forsyth Smith. Happy Easter to you. Yes. Juan says his mother is highly sensitive to cat and its fur. Yeah, well, I am. You know, for years I had a cat, and it has to be said that after I lost the cat. Oh, it was 6 or 7 months ago now. After I lost her, the asthma is almost gone. I don't rarely need that little blue thing. Adrian said, good chocolate egg morning. No, it's Easter, dear. Easter. Easter, Adrian. If you are offended by the word Easter, piss off. It's as simple as that. I ain't got time for these people who are worried about upsetting other people because it says Easter or Christmas. I ain't got time for you at all. Switch off. Be done with it. Have you got some Easter eggs, Adrian? Maybe no one to give you one now. Good morning to the delightful Lizzie Drip who's set up now on the Costa del Sol, haven't you? Holly! Holly! Will you be doing a Viva España or do they find that offensive in Spain? Viva España. Perhaps you need karaoke hosts over there. I'm looking to start a new life, Lizzie, because I don't seem to find one here very well. I don't know. I get fed up here sometimes, Lizzie. I'm sure a lot of it's the cold weather. I don't like dreary cold weather. I do like a bit of sun. Don't it make a huge difference to your life when you get a bit of sunshine come out, don't you think? Oh, that first spring day, which we've had a few weeks. Oh, I've got something in my pocket here. What's this? Oh, it's a tie. I must have worn this jacket to a funeral. I've got a black tie here. Who was the last funeral I went to? There's so many now. Isn't there? Yeah, I turn on the Facebook and every day there's like a sad story of someone's mum or dad who's died, or you know, something like occasionally someone's child who's died. I mean, just to lose a child. Oh, gosh. Every day I log on there and say, oh, saying goodbye to my mum today or goodbye to my dad. It's really sad. I suppose that's the age I am, really, isn't it? I remember my uncle telling me once, we was actually at my mum's grave, was actually at my mother's grave, and my uncle said to me there that you'll find the older you get, the more funerals you go to. Well, he's gone there as well. That wasn't long ago. I'm looking at the watch. Oh, dear. Let's see. No, they sing it over there, do they, Leslie? España 4x4. Do you have castanets? You must introduce castanets into your... Oh, you do? The one where you have the fruit on your head, isn't it? Welcome, da 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 da. I know that song, the fruit where you give the bananas to people. Lizzie Drip is a top female impersonator, drag act, really very good. Go and see her on the Costa del Sol where she's set up now, I think. All right, Kathy is correct. No chocolate. It's Sunday, dear. It's hot cross buns today. As indeed it is. No chocolate eggs today. You shouldn't be eating chocolate eggs today. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Good morning, Julian. Wants Lizzie to go back to Mallorca. Carmen Miranda. Yes, that's the number. Carmen Miranda. I love it. I love it. You can get those avocado eggs now over £20 on eBay from Waitrose. I don't think you won't get them now before the weekend, will you? Certainly not before Sunday. All right. So yesterday, let's have a look. Last night I went shopping in Morrissons. I hadn't got my stuff because, as you know, I'm going up to my sister's, and I take a bag of food because I've got my own hire a caravan, and I'd run out of certain items that I like to get from Morrisons because they're 50p cheaper there. And I looked them up. They don't close till 11 o'clock during the week. I didn't know that. I thought it was like 9 o'clock. So last night, after I finished church last night, because I went to the Maundy Thursday service, I went to Morrissons, done a bit of shopping. I think I was the last one in there. I got there around about 10 to 11. And you can see, as you walk in, the staff look over and you can see their faces drop when someone comes in so late, because they think you're going to walk around now for 45 minutes. I don't know how it works if you go into a shop. And I'm just going to close those. I'll come back to those messages in a minute. 1 second, because that's putting me off now, looking at your messages all the time. I can't get the story out if I keep concentrating on your messages. See, that's the trouble. I don't know if people actually do you get chucked out of supermarkets if you're too long? So with an 11 o'clock close, if you're still walking around at 11:15, does someone come and tap you on the shoulder and say, no, you've got to go now? And you can imagine what people are like, can't you? Those people that have no consideration for anyone else would say, well, I'm doing my shopping and I will continue doing my shopping. No, I'd have them slung out the door by the security bloke. Get out, mate. We want to go home. And I did see that some of their faces drop as I walked in, but I knew exactly what I wanted. But it's funny, I'm walking around and I only had a basket, didn't have a trolley. And I'm walking around to the place and you see other things that you want. I picked up some grapes, I think, a couple of other bits and pieces. And I went to the item I want, and guess what? None there. Oh, I wanted corn steaks. See, they're £2.50 there. This is for a pack of 2. I don't know how on earth 2 corn steaks are £2.50. It's not a dead animal, for Christ's sake. It's like mushroom-based. That's what it is. Maybe I could make my own. I don't know how you would make your own corn steaks. That's an idea. Maybe if you cut up mushrooms and sort of reform them, put a bit of pepper or something like that on. Now, that might work, mightn't it? Make me own. But anyway, it's £2.50 in there. In Waitrose, they're £3.20. In Sainsbury's, they're £2.75. I've seen them for £3 elsewhere. So that's quite a saving. Now, usually, I'll buy 10, 12 packs of those at a time. Well, there's a saving of £6. So it's worth it, because it's very close to Waitrose. And they had none left. So I had to get corn burgers instead. So they had a few of those. I cleared them out, actually. There were only 4 there, so I bought 4 of those. A few other bits and pieces, went through the checkout, and off I went. It's quite nice going shopping so late at night. There's no one in there. There's no queues and queues of people in there. Just there's a security bloke who nodded. He was quite pleasant, nice security bloke who nodded to me, and a handful of staff. And at that time, there's a lot of blokes in there as well. I noticed blokes, presumably, I don't know why it's mainly blokes, but they were stacking the shelves. And they were like middle-aged blokes, probably with no wives. And people like me would do something like that, who've got no partner, who are bored at night and can't sleep. Whether or not they work the entire night or not, I don't know. I think if I didn't do karaoke and quiz nights, I think probably I'd look for a nighttime job because I have terrible trouble sleeping if I've not worked. And this happened again last night, you see. I went to bed and I just could not sleep. And eventually I got 3 hours sleep and I woke up again about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, well, I'll just lay here. And I lay like that, on the bed like that. And all these things go through your mind and you can't sleep. Eventually I put the telly on for about half an hour. Then I turned it off again, and then I fell asleep. I was a bit hot as well. I wonder if it's just because I'm so hot. Maybe I should change for the take off the winter duvet and put something a bit lighter on, because it was very hot in bed. Eventually, I opened the window. It was only about 4 degrees outside, but I opened the window, and then I can hear animals. Then you see birds singing and all that. And I love it. I love hearing the birds singing and the wind in the trees and sometimes owls. Oh, listening to the owls and that. And that sends me off to sleep, which is quite nice. Now, you can get apps for your phone what do all sorts of noises like rain dropping and the seashore coming in and out. But then you have to have your phone on. I mean, you can turn the phone bit off, can't you? But it's still on. And I don't like the thought of a phone next to my head radiating out all these waves and Wi-Fi things and all that business. I don't like that. I like to turn my phone off completely when I go to bed. But with the window open, that's quite nice. Although in the very cold weather, it's not so good. So that was my little shop at Morrisons. Before Morrisons, I went to our the Catholic church I go to, the Corpus Christi in Wokingham, for the Maundy Thursday service. Now, I don't think I've been to a Maundy Thursday service for years. I think it's the first time I've been for years. My God, it's a powerful service. I mean, the sermon was really... I didn't take my eyes off him once. He was doing the sermon, and it's all quite serious. It's quite a serious thing. And then in the Maundy Mass, the priest gets down on his hands and knees and washes the feet of 14 people. You see, like that's supposed to be the apostles. They're like reenacting it. And he was standing there saying, what we are doing today is the anniversary of the Last Supper, which was 2018 years ago. Now, I've got to say to you, before you start switching off saying, he's gone all religious. No, I haven't. This only lasts for a couple of minutes, all right? But I have to say to you, even someone who isn't religious and would have been there last night, you would have been moved by that service. For the priest to get down on his hands and knees and start washing these dirty feet is a very humbling thing. Very, very humble to see him on his feet. And I was really moved by this. I don't know why. And I do get moved quite easily. I honestly do. Certain songs that I hear, things on the telly, certain news items. If something's happened to a child on the news, that sets me off. And it was very, very moving yesterday, to the point where one of the ladies, because it was, and they're doing ladies' feet as well now. They used to only do men's feet, but they do ladies' feet as well. So you imagine, so the service is going on, and then at this point, they bring in 14 chairs, okay? So they put these 14 chairs down in front of the altar, and then 14 people who have already volunteered to have this done go and sit on the chairs. Men, women, old, young, doesn't matter, okay? And they only remove one foot. They all take off their 1 foot and shove it in the washing machine. No, don't worry. They all take off one shoe and one sock. And that's the one the priest does. And he goes around doing this. And I don't know what happened to me at that point. But, I could feel a tear there. And I'm like that. And then it happened again. But then both of them went. We're not talking, screaming and crying like some people who want attention. Just quietly. And I couldn't stop it. Much to the point that one of the ladies who I know who was having her foot, she came up to me. She said, "All right, here's a tissue." Must have thought there was something wrong. I was so moved by this whole thing yesterday. And it was a long service. It lasted about an hour and a half. And at the end, the priest removes the host there and takes it away. So the altar is now empty. The rest of the year, he's on there. He's supposed to be on there, but you see the priest then removes and then takes it somewhere else, and then you're left to and it all finishes in dead silence and no one talks. Really, really moving. And as I say, even if you weren't religious, you would have been moved by that yesterday. Wonderful. And we've got a very similar thing today at 3:00 at the church as well. It's a very busy day, busy period for the church, for the Christian churches, whether you're Catholic, Church of England, Baptists, Methodists, it's all the same. Okay, so that'll be 3:00 this afternoon, where we celebrate when he died on the cross and all that. So that's what's been happening at the church recently. Vivian wasn't impressed with a certain lady there yesterday. Vivian's the lady who's sitting next to me, who I absolutely adore. She's just fantastic. I love Vivian, and I got the nudge in the side. Here, Chris. You see that one over there? I said, yeah, go on. She said, yeah, look at her going into the sacristy. The sacristy is the little room where the priest and the altar servers all get ready. He said, look at her going into the room. She'll be in there trying to push her daughter to the front. She always goes everywhere and tries to make sure her daughter gets the highest thing, whatever it is they're doing. I said, all right, one of those. I said, where is she? I said, all right, I'll have a look at her. And when she came out, you knew she was one of those people. You know the sort, don't you? The mothers who push their daughter to the front all the time. The daughter must get the most important thing going. You know the sort, don't you? You know the sort. It's interesting, actually. The fellas don't seem to do that, do you? You don't often get like a, what is the word? Possessive? A pushy. You often don't get a pushy father, do you? I don't really see pushy fathers. Although some of these fathers who tend to, I was going to say my age. Actually, they're younger than me now. Some of these fathers, usually in their 30s and 40s, who have gone to see their sons play at school football matches and things like that, and they're standing round the side, aren't they? These little boys, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 are playing football. And you know, we don't always get things right, do we? I certainly don't get things right all the time. Like, take this show, for example. When has this ever been right? Be honest. When have you ever seen anything go right on here? But these fathers stand around the side of the pitch. Oh, come on. I know, take a name. Mark. Come on, Mark. Oh, you're so useless at that. And I have seen that so many times from different fathers who belittle their children in front of other people. You should be bloody well ashamed of yourself to do that. Whether that child has not been so good, just because he's not, perhaps, I bet you was a crap footballer as well. And there they are, shouting at their sons on the football match, belittling them in front of everyone else. It's a horrible thing to belittle someone, whether they're a child or an adult. And I've had this for years and years. I tell you, from various different people, they try and belittle what they do. Take this, for example. Certain people will belittle what they do, and you don't realise how hurtful it is. Fortunately, as you get older, you do get a thicker skin. So it doesn't matter. Don't care. Don't care. You know, you just carry on doing what you're doing. But to belittle a child and a child is a child, I don't know, up to about 21. Okay? I know some of you youngsters get married at 20, 19, 18, fine. But to me, you're still a child. My niece is 30. One of my nephews is about to be 21. The other nephew is 33. To me, they are still those 5-year-olds. They've all got their own families now. They are still those 5-year-olds whose hands I used to hold while walking across roads. You know, please don't belittle children. If they're doing something wrong, you know, oh, Jack, come over here. Not bad with the football today. You know when you was kicking it that way? I know nothing about football, okay? Nothing about football. I cannot kick a ball straight. That is the truth. But, you know, why can't you do that? All right, Jack, not a bad game today. You know that bit where you kick the ball right? Yeah. If you had kicked it that way, it might have been a little bit better. Try and do it that way next time. But apart from that, well done, son. What's the problem with that? No, they don't do that. As the youngsters are coming off the pitch, they are belittling them in front of other people. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting how you talk to children, some people. It really is. Anyway, so that was the church thing. As I say, came back here, went to Morrison's, come back again. Now, I've got this bucket, which I've mentioned before. I've got a bucket of sand, which holds the one of the garage doors open. So I've got these garage doors are like that. They're not like that. They're like that. Yeah? Like that. And I've got this bucket of sand that keeps the door open in the wind. And the bucket has been gradually disintegrating over the last few weeks. I kept saying, I must get a new bucket. Well, I still haven't got a new bucket. And eventually this thing just fell apart. The sand is in a plastic bag, so that hasn't gone everywhere. But as you pick it up, another bit breaks up, and it's difficult to lift up. So I remembered I had a spare plastic bucket in my garden. So I got back from Morrisons, unloaded the car, put some stuff in the car, ready for my journey up north later. And I've come into the garden, picked up the spare plastic bucket that I use usually because I've got water butts, you see. I use that to water the plants. And took that outside, I put it on the floor, and I picked up the other bucket, which is very difficult to pick up now, because I thought, well, that one's smaller than that one. That will just drop nicely in it, wouldn't it? Now, you would think that would be easy, wouldn't you? So I picked up this bucket carefully and just about managed to drop it in. But unfortunately, I've dropped it with such force that I've now broken the second plastic bucket. So there's all bits of plastic now. There's bits of broken plastic outside the garage door there was last night. So I sort of kicked it into the corner and picked a load of it up. But of course it was pitch black out there, so I couldn't quite see what I was doing. Anyway, so I came back in here, had my dinner last night, and then I watched a bit of telly and I went to bed after that. But Dave, my lovely neighbour this morning, texted me. He said, I thought it was glass outside your garage door, but there's some plastic which I've cleared up. So I texted him back saying, oh, that was me last night. I couldn't quite see what I was picking up last night. So it's all done now. And that's it, really. All right, so that was my day. Let's have a look here. Who's sending messages? Oh, Christ. Missed some of these now, haven't we? Good morning, Mark Cording. Good morning, Mark. Happy Good Friday. Well, it's not Happy Good Friday. It is happy and it isn't. We're supposed to celebrate that someone died, aren't we? I don't see that as a happy thing. Let me tell you, when you go to Mass, going back to church again, when we go to Mass at 3 o'clock this afternoon, it's just so incredibly sad. There's a part of the gospel where it comes and he says, and he bowed down his head and gave up the spirit. That's where I go. That's where I go, and I'm like, oh, God, and I've got my head trying to hide my eyes so that no one can see them all watering up. It's an incredibly sad day, it really is. Juan says, I would think some manager associate would get on the horn and over the speakers when it comes to getting rid of people who are hanging around in supermarkets when all the staff want to get home. So would yell warnings for people to leave the store. You get out! Get out, we want to go home! It's like people in pubs, isn't it? People in pubs, the pub is closed and they're hanging about, I just finished my drink, and they won't rush. They won't rush, will they? It's like sometimes I go into Central Station where I do the karaoke. I'm there tonight, incidentally, 8:30 till midnight this evening for karaoke at Central Station, Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. And when I get there, the stage is supposed to be ready, but 99 times out of 100, it never is. And there might be people sitting on the stage. Go up to them. I'm so sorry. Can I ask you to move down to the front now, please? We're going to be setting up the karaoke now. Okay, we won't be long. Why can't you just move now? I mean, obviously, I don't say it. Okay, then. And then you're bringing your stuff in. 5 minutes later, these bastards are still sitting there. Oh, well, it won't be much longer now. Why can't you just go? We're trying to set up. And it's almost like they're trying to make a point. Now, the worst offenders for this, who I will name, are people from the Guardian newspaper. I kid you not, they used to come in there. I don't know what time they used to get in there. And they hardly bought a couple of bottles of wine. That's all they bought. And they would sit on the stage and they knew week in, week out, what time I would be coming in and trying to set up for the karaoke. Now, I just want to tell you, right, whether I set up now or in 2 hours' time, I get the same money. Makes no difference to me. But I've told you so many times, money is not my first priority. My first priority is making sure that the people who come to a night are entertained as much as I possibly can. And everything is working for them. So, people come on a Friday night and expect the karaoke to start at 8:30, right? I get very, very upset if it's not ready. Now, one of the worst things I could ever happen to me is to be late. I am not late ever unless there's been some particularly tragedy, like I've been stuck in the traffic for ages. And believe me, I leave enough time, okay? If I'm really lucky, this is the time I leave for karaoke, right? I leave my house. If I'm really lucky, okay, I can be at the karaoke venue, Central Station, over an hour before I'm due to start. Maybe an hour and a quarter. All right? That's the buffer zone that I leave. I leave a buffer zone of about 45 minutes to allow for traffic. And I always leave on time. There's none of this faffing about in house. Oh, I'll just do a little bit more ironing before I just clean up. No, I leave at the same time because I know in that time loads of stuff could happen on the way between here and there. Now tonight tonight should be a clear journey. We should be tonight looking at maybe an hour and 20 minutes to get to work instead of 2 hours. Because by tonight, they've all gone. Do not go on the road now. Don't go on the M25 now, because that's likely to be very busy now with everyone leaving, you see. I won't be driving till tonight, like midnight. That's when I'll be driving up there. So it's all gone by then. But these Guardian people, they would sit on there. OK, well, we're not going to be much longer now. And they'd order another bottle of bloody wine and still be sitting there. Meantime, there are people coming in, you know, who expect the karaoke to go. And they look at you. But Chris, you said it was 8:30. And they do not have any consideration, those people from The Guardian. They're so bloody important, these newspaper people, aren't they? And a lot of people from the BBC, have you ever seen them swanning in and out of places? We work for the BBC. And? Oh, we work for the Sun newspaper. And? Dreadful people. No consideration for other people. So I can't stand that. Going back to the other end, people who hang around in pubs when they're closed. These bar staff, they're not on good money. And they've been putting up with you mouthing at them all night long. At least have the common decency to drink up within 20 minutes of that bell going and get out. God's sake, let them go to sleep. They work damn hard, bar staff. They work really hard. They put up with crap from people who change their mind at the last minute. And people that moan and they moan and they moan and the drinks go up 2p. Oh, it was only £1.30 yesterday. Why is it £1.32 now? Moan they moan. I've heard them standing at the bar. Moaning and moaning and moaning. God's sake, man. Give them a rest. Just a moment, please. Let's see. Andy says McDonald's near us now have security guards outside because of the trouble youths are causing there. Dreadful. Scared to go to McDonald's lately. Yes, some of them have in London. McDonald's. I've seen a security guard outside Subway in Camden Town. Subway. I wouldn't work in any of these late night eating places. Highly dangerous to work there. Dear me. Good morning to Jimmy Butler, who said he's getting ready for football. Yeah, Jimmy goes to football. That's my nephew, Jimmy Butler there. We're going on holiday. You're going to find out where we're going on a holiday on probably Mondays. If there's a recorded show on Monday, I'll tell you then, all right? If not, the next live show after today will probably be on Wednesday morning. Okay. Oh, just a second. Oh, we've lost the place now. Let's have a look. Juan says all of them are savagely pushy. Listen, we're talking about some of the parents now. And poor tots and children suffer mentally, physically, and most of all emotionally. Oh, it's awful when they start screaming and shouting at their kids. Oh, you kick that ball crap and all that business. It's not nice. Good morning, Colin. John Dixon. Happy Easter to you, John. Colin says, I've experience of belittling at some of the gay clubs I've visited due to my T-shirts and bling. I just laugh it off. It's sticks and stones. Colin, now let me just explain. Ben Jareth Colin Rhodes, that's actually his name is Colin. Ben is his other half, but Colin, I think they use the same Facebook thing. And Colin, and I know you won't mind me saying this, Colin is a character. And he wears all this gold stuff and bling, and he dances and he has a damn good night. But what do people do? They cuss him off. They cuss him off around the side of the because they don't get it. We used to have this DJ called Tallulah, and he would turn up in all this fur stuff. I don't think it was real fur, but fur stuff. I remember him going, all right, Tallulah. And he'd be walking, hello, Chris, how are you? And he'd walk into his position. And these youngsters next to me would say, well, what's all that about? And I'm like, what? Well, why has he got all that on? Well, that's him. Yeah, but we don't get why. You know, that's because you're boring. That's because you're boring and you don't have a character. He does. And indeed, Colin has a wonderful character. He's a great laugh, Colin. We used to sit there. I would be DJing in the city of Quebec and he'd be dancing. And we'd be standing next to the fan, wouldn't we, Colin? Because the air conditioning wasn't working in there. We had this great big fan. And Colin and his other half and me, I'd come out of the DJ box and we'd have a little bit of a chat. We'd talk gossip about people and that sort of thing. Great fun. Great fun. Thank you. Thank you, Mari, for wishing me a nice time. Andrew says no one buys The Guardian. It's going bust. Good. And all those dreadful people will be out of work then. Good. Making my life a misery over all that time. Good morning to Gary Butler. There's my other nephew. He's up at a hospice at the moment. Their daughter, Olivia, hasn't been too well recently, so they're trying all sorts of different drugs on her and that sort of thing. All right, greetings, Gary. Will I be seeing you at the weekend, Gary? I do hope so. Do hope you're coming to the event of the year. The United Kingdom event of the year. That's what it is. Good morning, Ashley, who says, I remember those days the air conditioning in the city of Quebec was terrible. It certainly was. Oh, it was awful. It was so hot in there. The Guardian people are moving to the BBC News department. Oh, they're so left on the BBC. It's interesting, actually. My mate, Guy, who's a wonderful bloke, he's a staunch Labour Jeremy Corbynist. But that doesn't matter because I love him. And he feels that the BBC are very right-wing. It's interesting, isn't it? Some of us think they're left and some of them think they're right. And that's it. We are all on Netflix, Andrew. You're quite right. Heidi says, do I know Colin? I don't think so. I wouldn't have thought so. Ashley, yeah, I mean, I did the DJ downstairs at the City of Quebec for about 6 to 9 months or so. But then I started getting very tired late at night. You see, it was 3 o'clock to me is very late now. The only other late night job I had at the time was the place in Clapham where I used to DJ, and that was 2 o'clock. And even that was getting too much for me, much to the point as last year, as you well know, the place in Clapham decided to go till 3 o'clock on a Thursday night. And I said, no, well, that's it then. I'm gone now. It was just too much. My latest night is now 12. And in the Quebec, you probably didn't notice, Colin, but I was actually falling asleep from about 1:30. I found it really hard going, keeping awake at such... And it was so hot in there, which didn't help either, did it really? I'm glad you enjoyed the music and what have you there. Good. Just in case you're worried, have you got all your food in yet? Got all your food in yet? Supermarket opening and closing times for Good Friday, Easter Sunday and Bank Holiday Monday are all in the Daily Mirror. Just in case you're a little bit worried about that, boys and girls. It says, if you need to make a quick dash to your local store, don't be caught off guard and ensure you take out a handy overview of all the major supermarkets' Easter opening times. And generally, I think Good Friday is normally times. Some close a bit earlier on a Good Friday. Generally, Good Friday stores are open. Saturday is a normal day. Easter Sunday, you'll find most shops closed on Easter Sunday. I'm sure all the big supermarkets are closed. Hang on, let's see what it says here. Yep, Tesco's closed, Sainsbury's closed, Waitrose closed, Asda closed, Morrissons, some on reduced hours. Okay, Aldi closed, Lidl closed. Okay, so most of the big supermarkets are closed on Easter Sunday. Be warned. Of course, they'll all be round there, the usual culprits, won't they? With trolleys full to the bursting point of shopping because the supermarket is closed for one day. They do the same at Christmas, don't they? Have you gone into a supermarket on Christmas Eve? You've never seen so much food disappearing out the door in your life. I wonder how much of it gets stolen through those self-service checkouts. Oh, I'll tell you what I heard last night at Morrison's. I haven't heard this one before. You know when you put when it either it hasn't scanned properly or it's detected something wrong and the self-service scanner goes, there is an undisclosed item in the checkout area. Please remove this item and with a slight echo, sorry. There is an undisclosed item in the checkout area. Please remove this item and try again. You know that? No, that. Well, you get that at Waitrose, Sainsbury's, where else? And some other shops. Well, I was in Morrison's last night. There was a bloke next to me there. He was doing his shopping. And I heard a different thing. And it said, I love it. There is a surprising item in the checkout area. Please remove this item and try again. A surprising item. What does that mean? You put something that goes bloop bloop. Wow! A surprising item in the checkout area. I love it. Someone says, what about a supermarket in Kiel? Where's that, Kiel? I've no idea where that is. It, Cram? Where is Kiel? Do let us know. I'm not quite sure where that is. A surprising item in the checkout area. So there's all your shopping news, boys and girls, here in the UK. Now, what else have I got for you today? Let me have a look at this. Now, here's something in the Sun on this Good Friday. As many as 9 million British drivers could be risking a £1,000 fine, it says here. And 3 penalty points for ignoring one of the most basic road laws. Now, I'm sure you've not done this, but I see it done more and more often. We've talked about this a few times on the show. Disobeying traffic lights can carry harsh penalties for reckless motorists, but a recent study has found that a shocking number of British people admit to running a red light. Now, I've seen this so many times now, and it is beyond a joke. It really is. When I say jumping red lights, I don't mean they've just gone red and they're jumping, which is bad enough. Sometimes these red lights are red for 3-4 seconds. People are still coming through the damn things. I wonder how many accidents are caused like this. Conducted by U-Switch, get this right, the study revealed that 21% of drivers, right, 21% of drivers had run a red light in the past year. I hope that's not you. It'll get you in the end. Someone will come the other way and you will die. Stupid people. Failing to comply with traffic lights usually carries a fixed penalty notice of £100 and 3 penalty points. That's not enough, is it? That is not enough. £100 and 3 penalty points is not enough. I think when you break a red light, no chance. Take the licence away. Be done with it. Take the licence away, £2,500 fine. That would stop it. Surely that would stop it. Anyway, at the moment it's a fixed penalty notice of £100 and 3 penalty points, but the offence can carry a fine up to 10 times that if it is deemed more serious and goes to court. And the law isn't just being broken by motorists. Oh, well, here's a surprise. Just over a quarter of cyclists also admitted to running a red light, putting themselves and other road users in danger. Now, I swear a lot of cyclists want to die. Now, if you're a cyclist, just don't start defending yourselves, because I'm one as well. I cycle on the roads. We have a lot of cycle ways around here in Bracknell, so we don't really have... if I go into town, I don't have to go down the road at all. We've got a lot of cycle ways and some bits that are shared with pedestrians. When I go to church on a Sunday, that is on a main road. Okay? There are a couple of lights. I do not break them. I do not go for a red light ever. Ever. There's one bit of my journey that I have to take that takes me across a level crossing. Okay? And it's one of those level crossings where there's like half barriers. So you could, in effect, go diagonally. And I've seen people do it. Stupid people who don't see a train, so they cross in between the two barriers when they're down. Idiots. The study in The Sun also found that drivers are regularly breaking basic road laws despite hefty new penalties. Around 62% admitted to speeding in the last year, while 1 in 6 still use their mobile phone behind the wheel despite a £200 fine and 6 penalty points if they are caught. Well, obviously the fines are not enough. Stick them up into 3 figures or 4 figures. Instead of 200, how about 2,000? Surely that'll have an effect. I see it all the time. People on their phone like that. Not just people on their phone, but I've seen people watching the television on their phones while they're driving. Usually Uber drivers. It's always seems to be a Prius. Or they're leaning they're driving along the Euston Road, right? One hand like this on the wheel and the other one operating the sat-nav, which is on the mobile phone, while they're moving along. The fines are not big enough. I don't touch my phone when I'm blooming driving along. Ever. Sometimes, and this amazes me, I've got buttons on the steering wheel, so you hit the button, and then I just say, call Sharon. That's my sister. I haven't got to touch on it, and it just rings her, and I talk without even taking my hands off or taking my face out of the window. Just does it automatically. A lot of phones do that. I don't understand people who text you when you're in the car. That is just stupid. Again, so I've got my thing on there because it's got my sat-nav. Tells me where I'm going. Because I can't find where I'm going. I can't. I've never been able to find my way from A to B. And besides, it's got all the traffic stuff on there, so it reroutes around the traffic if it can. And you'll get a text message come up. I say, all right, Chris, how are you? Well, it's usually from someone who would know I'm on the way to work. It's unbelievable. And then 2 minutes later, are you okay? Because you haven't replied. Well, I can't reply. Driving a bloody car. I'm not texting and driving. That's really dangerous. And you can tell the people who are texting and driving because the cars are all over the road like that. Have you ever seen them? Or the lights have gone green, right? All the cars and this car stopped in front of you. Why? Because they're texting or using their bloody mobile phones. There must be a way that the mobile phone people can detect that you're in a car and it's moving. Therefore, none of the things work that you can touch. There must be a way of doing that. 62% use the mobile phone. Rod Jones, insurance expert at Uswitch, says, it's clear there's a lack of understanding of the highway code among drivers. I don't think there's a lack of understanding. I think people are just stupid and they think they can get away with it. I don't think there's a lack of understanding. What are you telling me? People don't know that they have to stop at red lights. What a stupid thing to say, Rod Jones. How stupid are you? You telling me people don't know that they're not allowed to use mobile phones at the wheel? It says the consequences could be fatal even before you think about the financial and legal risks. Yes, indeed. I was nearly hit by a juggernaut once. It just so happens that when my light went green, I looked in my rear-view mirror. There was nothing behind me, so I decided to take another this is a few years ago, decided to take another handful of crisps, which were in between my legs, in the bag. And it's because I hesitated that allowed an articulated lorry to go right past me like that, where the lights must have been red for at least 4 seconds, a minimum of 4 seconds. This lorry just carried on. Had I have gone off when my light went green, I'd be dead now, probably. It goes on to say, there's a general consensus that more needs to be done in terms of highway code education. I can't believe people don't know that they have to stop at red lights. That is a stupid thing to say. It really is. It says, earlier this year, we reported how motorists could still be hit with a £100 fine and 3 penalty points, even if they stop just short of a red light. I don't get that. What does that mean? The story doesn't go any further than that, so I'm not quite sure what they mean there. Earlier this year, we reported how motorists could still be hit with a £100 fine and 3 penalty points, even if they stop just short of a red light. I don't know what that means. But it is ridiculous. Alan says, I cycle a lot and always stop at a red light. You see, you don't know, do you? You honestly don't know where these places are. Alan also says the only thing you can go in the supermarket and get walkout without the alarm going off is newspapers. Do you nick the newspapers? I hope you don't nick newspapers, do you? In the supermarket? Hope you're not going through that self-service checkout and putting grapes through as carrots or something dreadful like that, Alan. Huh? You naughty boy. All right, let's do today's birthday. Now, if it's your birthday in the next few days, tough, because I won't be doing the birthdays, unfortunately, boys and girls. When I come back and do the live show on Wednesday, by then, there'll be like 4 days worth of birthdays to tidy up. So we won't be, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. That'll be a whole show just dedicated to birthdays, I'm afraid. All right. So sorry about that. If it's your birthday in the next few days, a bit unlucky, really. Oh, no, actually, what if I did today and tomorrow? Let's see how we do. Let's see how many there are today. Oh, there's only 4 today. Or is it 5? There's only 5 today. Here we go then. Happy birthday today on this Good Friday, the 30th of March 2018, to Michael Walden. Happy birthday, Michael. To Tiffany Wells, 44 years old, Tiffany. She is a top London drag queen. She's got the most fantastic outfits, I tell you. Happy birthday, Tiffany. Deidre Beans is a young 68 today. Happy birthday, Deidre. Joseph Campbell. Hello, Joe. 55 years old today. Just a few months behind me there. Happy birthday, Joe. And Barney L. Cornet. Is it? Oh, I can't quite see. I can't see a damn thing without my glasses. Oh, where's all the glasses? Oh, there's a pair. I've got about 10 pairs of glasses here. Hang on a minute. Cornet. Yes, Cornet. Barney L. Cornet is 57 years old on this Good Friday. Happy birthday to you. So we just have a look at tomorrow's, and at least I can do a few more. I like to read out people's birthdays. I think it's a nice thing to do. It's an upcoming birthdays. Here we are. Let me see. Saturday. Oh, Saturday. Well, we can do Saturday's ones as well. Happy birthday tomorrow. That's Saturday. Oh, where's my calendar gone? Saturday, the 31st of March 2018, to Russ Philip Vernon, who's often here on the show. Happy birthday for you tomorrow, Russ. Carla, one of our lovely Manilow girls. Carla Zwackarlen is a young 58 tomorrow. Happy birthday for you tomorrow, Carla, who I've met. We had a little dinner once, didn't we, in the O2. And what was the place? The Slug and Lettuce in the O2. Dreadful service in there. It really was. Happy birthday. Beana Burns, that's for tomorrow. Lovely Jessica James is a young 35 years old tomorrow, aren't you, Jessica? Happy birthday for tomorrow. Jessarhino O'Carroll, 25 years old tomorrow. Adam Boyle, 29 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday tomorrow, Adam. Raymond Hind is 47 years old tomorrow. Daniel Jacob Farley McSweeney is 29 years old tomorrow. So they're the where's my mouse gone? There it is. They're the birthdays for today and tomorrow, boys and girls. Oh, there's Russ now. Hello, Russ. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. All right? Enjoy your birthday if it's either today or tomorrow. Hot cross buns for your birthday. It don't get much better than that, does it? Eh? Now, don't be eating too many Easter eggs. I might have one if I'm lucky enough to get one Easter egg. I only bought one Easter egg this year for my sister, which I was going to show you, but I've put it in the car all ready for tomorrow. It's really nice, actually. It's from Waitrose, and it's like a marbly. It's quite large. 15 quid. That's all right, isn't it? Nice, a nice big thing it is for my sister, because she's special. Special, my sister. She is special. Tonight, it's Friday night, so I'll be hosting karaoke on this Good Friday. That starts at 8:30 and finishes at 12 midnight. And if you want to come and join us down there, it'll be a busy night. It's at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Once again, starts at 8:30, goes through till midnight. Central Station Karaoke in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. It's a pub right on the corner. There will also be karaoke as usual on there on Easter Monday, but I won't be doing it. My friend Wayne M will be hosting the karaoke on Monday while I take a little break. All right. Thanks ever so much, boys and girls, for joining us on this Good Friday show. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.